Run along and don't get into mischief. Then Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and went through the woods to the baker's to buy a loaf of brown bread and 5 currant buns. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little rabbits, decided to go hopping down the lane to look for blackberries. Hopping, 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 hopping down the lane. Hopping, 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 hopping down the lane. Hopping, 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 hopping down the lane. Hopping down the lane to look for big blackberries. Peter, who was naughty, disobeyed his mother. He ran straight to Mrs. McGregor's garden and squeaked under the gate. Peter had never seen so many red vegetables. Peter ate some lettuce leaves. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Then he ate some juicy beans. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Radishes and by the road. Just how many I don't know. Then he started feeling sick. Feeling sick. Oh, so sick. Poor Peter Rabbit. When Peter began to feel sick, he went to look for some parsley because he had heard that parsley was good rabbit medicine. He came around a cucumber vine, and whom should he meet but Mr. McGregor himself. Mr. McGregor was down on his hands and knees planting cabbages. When he saw Peter, he jumped up and picked up his rake. Then he ran after Peter, shouting angrily, "Stop thief! Stop thief! Stop thief! What will I do to you? If ever I can catch you, I'll have some rabbits too." Peter was dreadfully frightened. He rushed here and there and all around the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost one shoe in the cabbages and the other shoe in the beans. He kept running faster and faster, and just then he got caught in a gooseberry bush. He was wearing his new blue jacket with the large brass buttons. The buttons got caught and held him tight. Peter gave himself up for lost and started to cry, but the sparrows who were watching flew down and said, "You must try hard to get free. Run, Peter, run." Peter, run, Peter, run, stop your crying.
into a watering can. It would have been a fine place to hide if it had not had so much water in it. Mr. McGregor came looking for him, and just then Peter sneezed. He heard Mr. McGregor coming, so he jumped out of the window, upsetting 3 flower pots, and he ran as fast as he could. But poor Peter, he could not find the gate. Just then, along came Mouse. Mouse was carrying some peas home to his family in the wood, and Peter asked which way to go.
Which way to go?
But little Mouse had beans in his mouth and could not answer him because Mommy and Daddy had taught little Mouse not to talk with his mouth full. Peter turned and he began to cry. Just then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw the big black cat. Whoosh! He was swishing his tail. Now, Peter had heard about cats, so he did not dare to stop and talk, and he went the other way.
Suddenly he heard the noise of a hoe. Screech, scratch, screech, scratch. When Peter looked up, he saw Mr. McGregor hoeing his onions. His black back was turned toward Peter, and beyond him was the gate. Peter made up his mind to run as fast as he could. He squeezed under the gate and never stopped running until he got under the root of a big fir tree. He was so tired, he lay down and closed his eyes. Then he remembered how sick he was. Mother Rabbit was busy cooking dinner, but she wondered where Peter had lost his shoes and his nice blue jacket. That was the second jacket and the second pair of shoes he had lost in the empty. What a naughty boy. Peter had eaten too many green vegetables, and he felt terrible. He was so sick that his mother made some chamomile tea, gave him a big dose, and put him to bed. Bad little Peter Rabbit. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little rabbits, had blackberry sugar and cream. Peter went to bed and without any song.
have refreshments in our room afterwards, but we'd like to thank Mrs. Watson for playing for us. Our little friends may see her in a few years.